Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Thank you. We're going to start our day two proceedings. I would like to request Sompal Chaudhary, co-chair IoTNext, to give us a day one summary. Thank you.
Hi, so how many of you came yesterday? Just a show of hands? Great, so most of you came yesterday. So just to quickly summarize what we learned yesterday, obviously we had the couple of very interesting panels, discussions and so forth. So I'm going to quickly summarize. The entire proceedings, the videos are going to be up on the ISA website and as well as the IoT forum. So please do look at the entire video when you get a chance. We start off with the first keynote was done by Supriya Dhanda, Vice President and Country Manager of Western Digital. A very thoughtful, soul-searching talk about responsible technology. And her point essentially was, there's a lot of technology out there. They're making our lives simpler, better, but there is obviously a delight in human interaction, and that should not go away with technology, right? So she gave some very thoughtful experiences and examples as well. The second keynote was by Dr. Aloknath De, CTO and Corporate Vice President of Samsung India. And this was on the 5G transformational network, how it's changing the AR, VR, and IoT infrastructure. With a less than 1 millisecond of delay, a super high speed in 5G. He talked about many of the trend spottings out there, including the future with more wearable and flexible devices, directly connected to the cloud, ubiquitous healthcare, ultra-high definition video streaming, and so forth. The IoT forum directory was launched by Arvind Tiwari. India now has over 1,500 IoT startups, the latest numbers. This is going to be available on iotforindia.org website, so you can download the entire directory from here. Also do a lot of searches with specific keywords on this IoT directory to get relevant startups. And the good news was these IoT startups are now spread all over India, multiple cities, and as well as it covers multiple market verticals and technology sectors like transportation, consumer, commercial, industrial, retail, agri, wellness, utility, and so on. We saw a couple of very interesting demo on IoTNext, which is the confluence of different technologies, AR, VR, IoT, AI, ML together. That's what we are calling the IoTNext. Muni, CTO in residence of Microsoft Accelerator, spoke about driving innovation at the edge, combining sensors and sensing. And he showed essentially a hard hat helmet training demo. And it was clear that you could do a lot of AI learning in a few seconds at the edge as well. It doesn't need to be gigabytes and terabytes of data required for training. So this was a classic example of running a small experiment on the edge with AI. The second demo was by Hemant, who actually called in from Raleigh, North Carolina. And he's the CEO of Imaginate Software, who has created a very immersive design debug experience with avatars, AR, VR-based teleportation for field professionals, for smart industrial debug session for high-end machines, and so forth. And the final demo was by Dinesh Advani, the co-founder of PlayShifu, who showed how early learning can be reimagined with phygital toys, physical plus digital toys, for early learning for kids. And a couple of his products, he demoed the Orbit AR Globe and Plugo AR gaming system, are now selling worldwide in 60 countries from this startup based out of HSR Bangalore. Arvind Tiwari gave the futuristic keynote on the IoT matrix, the green pill, the advent of connected, ambient, intelligent digital world with IoT, AR, VR, XR, AI, ML together. This is the new electricity that will have waves of change for generations and need new models for value creation and business. His favorite theme, the world is not running to specs. He gave multiple examples for that as well. Post-lunch, we had a very interesting session. Harsh Bhanwala, chairman of NABARD Bank, gave the keynote. And he announced the funding plans for startups with NAB Ventures, a 200 crore venture capital fund started by NABARD. And NABARD historically has created a lot of impact over the years, including financially enabling 80 million farming families and microfinancing formal banking support. So this is a new venture for them, playing the venture capital in the agri-tech space. The panel, Reimagining Agriculture with Disruptive IoT, with senior members from Bayer, ITC, McKinsey, Omnivore Capital, and so forth. This was probably one of the most highlights of yesterday. The good news is the amount of money that is flowing into agri-tech is 10x more now as compared to even 5 years back. So money actually isn't a challenge anymore. The challenge that needs to be addressed is the government support for export, companies building more sustainable businesses, and working for more profitable businesses. It's more structural changes that we need right now. The technological disruptions are actually reaching farmers directly, right from robotics applications, drones, and UAVs. The technology is out there. Obviously, the challenge is very small farm holdings in India, which probably is the biggest challenge in terms of deployment of these technologies. And we talked a lot about fertilizer management, irrigation use cases as well. So just a quick piece, other numbers shared in the panel, 654,000 villages, 120 million farmers, 80% being small farmers, and in total, 140 million hectares cultivated, with 60% is by monsoon. So we are highly dependent on monsoon, unfortunately, still. So we had a very interesting session in the evening. There was a panel felicitating all the past IoTNext award winners. Abhishek Lathe, CEO of SenseGears, Telebeacon, then ReConnect Energy, and Cardiac Design Labs. And we heard a lot about the struggles and tribulations over the last 5 years, how IoTNext and the IoT Forum helped them as well. And there was a lot of recommendation from them as well. Recommendations to imbibe the culture of sharing, collaboration, and helping each other to succeed. Each one of these startups cannot do it alone, and that's the whole purpose of this ecosystem that IoT Forum is building up. It is also very important to pick very specific verticals and customers very carefully. Never do a free trial, and then go full proceed. Once you have found the product market fit, go with it all with full energy. But getting the product market fit has been a challenge historically, right? We had probably one of the most interesting discussions was making India a global brand for IoT solutions, which we have so successfully done with IT. The panelists were Krishna Kumar Natarajan, ex-chairman NASCOM and CEO of Mindtree, Derek Hose, co-founder of Flutura, and Sanjay Anandram, TiE Bangalore. And the takeaway was for companies to scale and build their capabilities in India first, especially this is for the B2B companies. And once you find the product market fit, once you get a couple of $1 million revenue, to scale, you have to go overseas for the more developed economies. Also, enhancing the capacity, building a public-private partnership with a clear objective and goal to help achieve prominence for brand India is also essential. We have seen, all of us, we have visited Silicon Valley in the last couple of years. We have seen how successfully Israel has done it. Germany is doing it, Belgium is doing it, China is doing it. So we got to set up that infrastructure as well. And finally, on the IoTNext Awards for 2019, this was given to the most promising IoT startups by sector. Agritech, Farm Gain Agro was the winner of the Agritech startup. Dipiter Technologies for healthcare. In industrial IoT, award went to Occipital Labs. Emerging tech startup went to Aerologics. And scaling up category winner was Smarter Homes Technologies. A special award was given to 3 startups in the industrial IoT domain was Minion Labs. Emerging tech was Embed Sense Solutions and Sense Semi Healthcare. So this was the summary of day 1. We look forward for the day 2. We have got a bunch of panels, starting with the security panel, which will start very shortly. And then we have the opening up of the IoT labs. We have got Usiru, private-public academia partnership to monitor air pollution. And then in the afternoon, we break it out into 2 sessions. We have an industrial IoT session, both looking at IoT as well as AR, VR settings in an industrial setting. And in the second track, we have the AI ML on the edge. And then we reconvene out here in this room in the evening to talk about how the large enterprises are working with nimble startups and what has been the mantra, what has been the success, and so forth. This panel will be run by Ravi Gururaj. Thank you.